Hello and welcome to another round of wheel-to-wheel racing, proudly supported by Track Racer. Tonight kicks off round 8, a 41-lap endurance race at the world-famous Laguna Seca. With 11 turns and 3.6-kilometre circuit, should provide us with some interesting racing. Joining me tonight in the commentary, it's a very good evening to my fellow commentator, Pagani. Good evening.
How are we?
Yeah, well, thanks, mate. Very well. And we also have on visual Vintage Racer. So, good evening, Vintage.
Hi there, guys. Great racing earlier on today for our lobby. Really enjoyed it.
Pretty good. Pretty close racing for an endurance.
Yeah, look, 41 laps around here tonight should be made for some interesting racing. Laguna's going to test the skill of the drivers tonight here. Who do you think, or what do you think the drivers will have to pay attention to?
Definitely the pit strategy. In terms of their pits, they have to get it accurate as they could possibly can it. Because with the pit entry, it's like that 20-second entry time, and if you're out with fuel or tyres by the slimmest of margins, you have to come to the pits, you're pretty much ruined your race by doing that. So definitely your pit strategy is going to be the one to look out for and get that pinpoint accurate.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also think you've got to conserve, you've got to conserve your tyres and you've got to conserve your fuel. Whether your strategy is a 2-stop or a 3-stop, I think they're both, the 6 in one, half a dozen the other in that. I ran a 2-stop strategy in the race, thinking maybe I should have run a 3-stopper, but anyway, it was what it was. But I certainly had to conserve tyres and I certainly had to conserve fuel. So that'll come into it.
Look, while we've got a bit of time on our hands, I've jumped in the Mustang. How about we show the viewers tonight what they're in for?
Sounds good, Rexy. There you are.
So I'll just come out of the pits now. So as we were saying, it's a really long pit, 20 seconds in the pits here. So you come out, you follow the long pit exit all the way down the start-finish straight. And you cut on the inside of the Andretti hairpin. So as we come out, we come up to what would be the third corner, second gear. Oh, Zoo's cut me off there. Thanks, Zoo. So you want to stay on the ripple strip. You're coming right in. Just want to sort of miss those sausages there.
Don't touch the sausage. That is what we talked about last time.
It's really important with this track. You really want to try to utilise as much of the track as possible. For me, I go from ripple strip to ripple strip basically. So, fourth gear through there, didn't mean to change back to third. So we come up to the hill to the world famous corkscrew. Really hard on the brakes here. Comes into a blind. Back on the... Oh, I'm all over the shop, boys.
Hang on to it, Rexy.
I've got it. Missed my apex there, but that's cool.
You're lucky this is the outlap. get it, shake it all off.
So hard on the brakes at the 300. Well, didn't mean to do that. So okay, let's see what sort of lap time I can do. We've got 1 minute. So the guys tonight should be doing around a 140, 125, you'd think. I'm not hoping.
Yeah, I think so.
126, yeah.
Yeah, I think 25 definitely. Can't do two things at once, Rex. You can't drive and talk.
There. Well, I'm trying my best, so I like to try to just put my wheel on the inside of that sausage. I've drifted wide there, but that's okay. Haven't lost too much speed. So braking at the 200, down to third. Missed my apex. Tyres are screaming. So the Mustang, she's a bit of a handful around here, boys. I know that it used its tyres really well, or really poorly. Zoo in the Toyota 86, he's going to be quick around here tonight. The Toyota 86 has got fantastic endurance. Gets really longevity out of those tyres. Well, see, I've clipped the sausage, and that's what happens if you clip the sausage, boys. You lose it.
Stay off the sausage, Rexy. Stay off the sausage.
So the important thing is stay off those sausages.
Yes.
100%. If you touch that sausage,
So-
your race is done for.
That is 3/4 of a lap around Laguna Seca, and I'm sure that the boys in the comment will give me a bit of grief for losing it.
Jeez, there's always a way when everyone's watching.
Yeah, it's the talking, trying to talk your way around it. But that's a lap, boys, around Laguna Seca.
Oh, thank you, Rexy. That was lovely.
Great example of what not to do.
Yeah, thanks. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So just trying to push that little bit hard there, and it just goes to show that you hit those sausages, it can really ruin your race.
Yeah, it really can. You exited the race, Rexy, so you don't get caught up.
You probably should do that as well.
Yes, I have, and I.
Well, show the commentators what not to also do.
Look, someone's going to come last. It may as well be me.
Yeah.
Save the other guy the embarrassment.
Yeah.
All right,
So
qualifying.
as qualifying's about to begin, we may as well, once qualifying starts and settles down, we'll go through the field and see who's where tonight.
Who do you think will come through on top in terms of qualifying?
Sorry, can I just jump
that's
in there? Sorry, Footner was on a medium then.
He's still on a medium now?
Yeah, Footner went on a medium tyre.
If he's going to start on medium, he's going to have to. Yeah, Footner is on a medium, so look, I'd expect Footner to come in after one lap to try to get a lap done on the softs. So as the cars settle down or head out, I'll jump to the front, and we've got Early in the BMW M4.
I think the BMW will be strong around here tonight.
Yeah, look, Tankmaster won, drove a really good race in
He did.
Lobby B. The BMW was quick in qualifying. He did a 1:25.8 or something like that, I think it was. So which you'd expect to see some of these boys in the 1:25s tonight. But yeah, BMW will definitely be strong. So position 2, we've got Fire Moves in what I still consider is one of the best liveries in the league, in his Penrite BMW.
In position 3 we've got Super Dragon. Oh, hang on. Oh, my thing's marking up. Behind Super Dragon we've got Ben, who's also in the BMW. So top 4 in qualifying, we've got 3 BMWs. So pretty interesting to see. Ben running a little bit wide there.
Yeah, that'll cost him.
Yeah, so MPR's now in force. So MPR and the Toyota 86, so I expect it to be strong. We'll probably be on a two-stop strategy. Won't be fast off the line, but overall its tyre wear is going to be fantastic. And Scooter 82 in the McLaren, he's been strong all season. McLaren's a little bit thirsty around here, but I'm sure Scooter will have that thing flying.
In position 6 we've got Mountain Goat, who is in the Lexus, the Ligamoli livery Lexus. Hopefully he should do pretty well around here. The Lexus is a pretty good all-rounder around this track, especially with the Group 3, so hopefully that carries down to the Group 4s. In 7th we've got Piper in the Audi, who should be in for a wild ride with the Audi with his front tyres. It'll be interesting to see what that car can do and how Piper can manage his tyre wear.
Yeah, look, being the only front-wheel drive car in the field, you'd expect the Audi TT to be hard on tyres. But in saying that, it's really fast, so I wouldn't be surprised if Piper's at the pointy end of the field come the start of the race. In position 8 at the moment, we have Zuzu in another Toyota 86, followed by, well, we've seen Ben, followed by Squiddy in the BMW M4.
In 11th we've got Intrinsic, and then we've also got Footner in 12th, and we'll finish off with Pure Axle in the pits in 13th, and then I'll let you Rexy, go through the times.
Yep, so I'm just bringing up my time. So Fight Moves, the quickest so far was a 1:25.973. So that's the pace that you sort of expected. The BMWs, we knew they were going to be strong. Five Moves hasn't had the best season this year, but it looks like he's going to be quick tonight in that BMW. In second position, we've got Zuzu, who is half a second behind Five Moves there. But no surprise that Toyota 86 is up there. Zuzu's been quick in practice all week, and I know he's certainly going to be one to watch.
Definitely.
Given how light that Toyota is and how well it is, how good it is on its tyres. So we've got Piper. So again, no surprise there. The Audi TT, we all know it's fast. It's one of the fastest Group 4 cars in the league. And it's showing right now that it's going to have the pace. So as they come round for a second hot lap, nothing changes at the moment. Zoo 126.46, Wheel to Wheel Benner 126.386, Squiddy 126.914. Now the times aren't blistering fast. I thought they might be a little bit quicker. Where's Footner? Is he still on the mediums? I don't
No,
think
he went down
at
to
all.
the softs.
So he came in to put on a set of softs?
I believe so.
He's on mediums. He's done a 127.5, which, you know, if he's done that on a medium, that's probably medium pace actually. So Footner isn't concerned about where he starts. It's all about the long game for him. So I reckon Footner's going for a one stop on mediums. Being Mercedes, one of the very few cars that can potentially do a one stop, get 20 laps out of the tank of fuel.
I reckon Scooter 82's holding Goat up on a hot lap too. Goat's just got out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 1 second penalty. He should really just pull aside.
Yeah.
There's nothing gained there. He's not going to better his time, not with a 1 second penalty. And I've noticed that we've got Pure Axel sitting in the pits.
Yeah. Word is that his girlfriend is due for a baby any moment, and he's just waiting on standby for the moment to come to head out to the hospital. All the best to him, and hopefully all goes well for him.
Absolutely, all the best for him.
Well, it's one race he can't win then if he's not there. He's given everyone the opportunity to get some points back. If he was racing tonight, you would expect him to be super fast, as per usual. Just going through the comments, a few of the boys are having a good old laugh at my spin. So Tankmaster's saying Rexy drifting lol. He's just laughing at me directly.
He's probably laughing because he probably could have done a better job considering he's also a Ford Mustang driver.
Yeah, which is fair enough. I deserve to be laughed at. But like I said, stay off the sausages, boys. They can ruin your race and your life.
Tell you what, Pure Axel's on the grid there, so.
I think he deliberately stayed out of qualifying just to stay at the back of the pack. He's not too sure whether he's going to make it through to the end of the race, so there's no point in him being at the front if he's not going to make it to the end.
Fair enough.
As we take off, Fine Moves gets a reasonable start. Zuzu slow as expected in the 86, so he should probably go from second to almost dead last. Always Zuzu just gives Intrinsic a little bit of a bump coming into Andretti corner.
Yep.
So Fine Moves leaves them through for the hold shot as they come into the second corner. So no dramas at the moment.
Just pushing and shoving with Goat and Scooter and Sue as well.
Oh, MPR running wide. No, he's lost it.
Through the corner.
Who was that?
MPR. I think he may have gone off on his own accord. He did run off onto the sand and then spin it.
Footner just goes on the inside of early there.
All too wide through the corner before the corkscrew, so this is going to go.
So as they head up Rahal Straight for the first time, which heads up to the corkscrew, got
Oh,
Fire
he got a
Moves,
tap.
Wheel to Wheel Bed,
No,
Mountain Goat, Intrinsic.
MPR got a tap. I'm sorry, guys.
Yep. Who was it from?
Looked like he
100% sure.
maybe clipped a clip from early, maybe.
Possibly, yeah. Maybe one for the stewards.
So unlucky NPR, but it's a long race, so
Anything can happen.
that may change his strategy somewhat. I'm not too sure, but he's got a lot to do now. So as they come through for the first race, we've still got Fire Moves in the lead, Wheel to Wheel Bend second, Mountain Goat third, Scooter 82 fourth, Intrinsic fifth. So the field's still nicely bunched up at the moment. There's no massive gaps in the field.
Fine Moves is pushing hard. A bit of gravel there.
Yeah, he won't want to push too hard. Being on softs, you're only getting. I reckon you're hitting probably about lap 7, maybe 8, and your tyres are starting to go by that stage. So you should see fairly consistent lap times of that sort of high 127s to mid 128s for these guys, you'd think. Or Fire Moves is going to cop a penalty there. I reckon it's going to be a good 1.5 penalty. Oh no, only half a second.
Oh, he got off free.
So very lucky there. So Fire Moves is going to have to burn this. He'll do this as he comes up to the hairpin. There we go.
That's what he needs, a half-second penalty every lap by the look of it.
Yeah, look, you don't want to accumulate too many penalties, because the more you accumulate, the more time you get each time round, I believe. So let's just brought Wheel to Wheel Bend and Mountain Goat back into the mix, as Fine Move was starting to pull away early on.
Yeah, like
but at this early stage, I really wouldn't expect too much dicing. I think you'd just be content to sit in position. The guys at the back might want to push a little bit harder. They certainly don't want to drop off this front pack. But the key is to really not chew into those soft tyres.
It'd be interesting to see what Goat does. We're doing a bit of training with him during the week, and he was definitely talking about a 2-stop strategy. So it'd be interesting to see if Fine Moves goes for a 3, or Wheel to Wheel Bend goes for a 3 as well.
Was there a possibility that different manufacturers, but different drivers from the same manufacturer do pick different strategies to still try and randomize, see what the best result is, because some of them may have not picked out which one may be the best for them, because every driver is different. Some push more aggressive than others, and some a bit more conservative with their tyres and their fuel. So it's all about a strategy that's more suits their driving preference.
Piper just got past Scooter 82. It'd be interesting to see how the tyres last on the front-wheel drive Audi there.
Yeah, well, just looking at those tyres of Piper, you can already see that he's just got a fraction more wear compared to the top 3 guys. It's only a little bit, but considering they're only into their 3rd lap, Piper's really going to suffer. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see somebody like him who is in a generally quick car. I reckon he might be up for a 3-stopper tonight.
Yeah, I think it's easy to say he'll be doing a 3-stopper. I think it'd be pretty inefficient for him to be for doing a 2-stopper. I think he'll be pushing a bit harder than he should be if he'll be doing a 2-stopper.
Con's asking, any chance you can show lap times, tyre wear, etc. I don't think we can show any of that, can we, Vintage?
No.
I don't think it's possible for us to do it. I think the best we can do is just have either me or Rexy as Footner running a bit wide on Rahul Straight.
Yeah, as we see Pure Axle just make a move at the top of the corkscrew on early. So Pure Axle's on a charge after starting from the back. He's quick as expected, and he's making his way through the field.
Piper just got Goat as well.
Yep, so Goat's dropped back to 4. So we've got a nice bit of a Congo line forming behind Fire Moves between 1 to 7th. So Zoo sitting in 7th place at the moment. Tyres looking fantastic. Qualified 2nd, so I think you will just see him be quite happy to sit back at the moment. He's not going to want to try to push too hard to wear those tyres, but he'll be definitely one on a 2-stop, you'd think.
Good battle going on between Fortnite in 10th and early in 11th.
Yeah, now don't forget Footner's on mediums too, so he's doing well to lap, around those 128s, 129. So if he can do that and only do a 1-stop, Footner may be in for a chance at the end of the race. Don't forget that it's roughly about 25, 26 seconds per pit stop.
Yeah.
When you're taking fuel.
Well, speaking of pit stops, we've got Con in the chat asking us what do we think is the go-to strategy for pit stops for this lobby. Actually, what do you think is the go-to strat?
Oh, look, I would really think that, these guys, generally they have been good on tyre management, so I would think most of them will probably do a 2-stop, something around a 14, 2 14s and a 13. But like I said, somebody like Wheel-to-Wheel Piper, who's in a front-wheel drive Audi TT, it may pay for him to do a 3-stop. As he's made his way up into 2nd, he's pushing hard. And if you look at his tyres compared to Fine Move's, they're just wearing that little bit faster. So yeah, I would honestly expect most guys to be on a 2-stop. But time will tell.
We did see in our lobby, Rex, in also Vintage, we were already in the same lobby, that Tankmaster, who took the win for Lobby B, did a 1-stopper. He was coming in at the end of lap 25.
Tankmaster, no, he did a 3-stop.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he pitted. He did a really weird sort of pit. I think he pitted on like lap 8, and then went all the way through to lap 25 maybe, and then pitted again.
Wow, okay.
Because he had a lot of pace at the end. I was going to say,
so
only 1 stop.
Tankmaster's in the lobby. He can actually tell us what he did, but I know that he did a 3-stop.
I thought he did a 1-stopper.
No, he said he did a 2-stopper. There you go.
2-stopper,
so
was it?
Tankmaster did a 2-stopper. So, Tank, just how many laps did you do in your first stint? Or after your first stint, sorry. So I know you pitted early.
Goat's looking for a move on Ben as well.
Yeah, he's looking hungry. We'll have Rexy keep us updated with I've gone blank with Tankmaster, and then I'll have a look at the race, see what's happening. So we've got in 8th position Intrinsic, whose tyre wear is actually looking pretty rough on the front tyres.
How's Pure Axel looking at the moment, Pagani? Because he's certainly on the move, up to 7th.
Pure Axel, he started last because he didn't do any qualifying times. He's in 7th, 0.3 behind Zuzu. His tyres actually looking pretty clean. Only, I would probably say a pixel less than, almost lost it there. A pixel less than Zuzu's in terms of tyre wear. In terms of fuel, there's a bigger margin for fuel, obviously, because Zuzu's car's a lot lighter. Isn't using as much fuel to get around the track.
So you think Pure Axel will go for a 3-stopper? Jeez, he's pushing hard.
I don't think he should be doing a 3-stopper. I think he'd be sort of limiting himself if he would be doing a 3-stopper. Like Rexy said, I think the 2-stopper is probably the go-to option here for most cars, excluding a Piper who's in the Audi. But yeah, but so far, Pure Axel's done pretty well to come from 13th to 7th in the space of 8 laps.
Yeah, Pure Axel's showing plenty of speed at the moment, and when you look at do a comparison between Scooter 82 and Pure Axel, Pure Axel's tyres are probably half as warm as what Scooter 82's are. So Pure Axel, as we know, he's good on tyres, good on his fuel. So yeah, I'd expect to see him at the pointy end of the field come, at the end of this race.
I mean,
just jump to the
it'd be a
front of the
great
field
move
for the
him.
moment. Have a quick look at fire moves. So you've got fire moves and wheel-to-wheel Piper. So they're streaking away from the rest of the field. There's almost a 4-second gap between Piper and wheel-to-wheel Ben. So 1 and 2 just pushing hard early on. And as we come up towards the end of lap 8, we'll soon get to see what sort of strategy these guys are on. So if they're on a 3-stop, you think they'd come in around the, lap 10, maybe 11. So Tankmaster was saying that his second stint, he went, it was 15, or he did a 15 lap stint.
Wow.
So maybe from 25, so from lap 25 onwards, so that would have been 16 laps.
Yeah, wow. Juicy had some pace at the end of that race.
Yeah, I think he even put a fastest lap out in the last stint. He was pushing 27s or 26s toward the end of the race. We'll have a look at in position 6. We've got Zuzu on the outside of Scooter.
Yeah,
He's
so
thinking of making it stick.
Oh, he's
they're all starting to bunch up all behind
Oh.
wheel-to-wheel Ben. So we've got 3 wide here, as we see Pure Axel make a move on Scooter 82. Gets it done cleanly.
Oh, Scooter's...
So Pure Axel goes from 7th to 5th in one turn
Pretty good.
as they head up to the corkscrew. So now Pure Axel has got Mountain Goat in his way.
Scooter 82, yeah. The
But if
loser
you
in
look
that.
at Scooter's,
Ben almost lost it.
Scooter's tyres compared to Pure Axel, there's quite a significant difference between the two McLarens.
Scooter is a controller driver rather than a wheel.
Oh yeah, that's fair
And
point.
that does make a difference to your tyre
It makes a
wear.
huge difference. But Zuzu, look at him go. He's in 5th at the moment. He looks like he's on slick tyres. That Toyota 86, really light and nimble around this track. He's definitely going to be one to beat if he's only doing a 2-stop. How's football going?
Goat's giving it everything.
Goat, yeah.
Ben.
So Footner's sitting in 12th at the moment on those mediums, but he's consistently lapping it around the 129, 128 mark. So if he can do a 1-stop, it'll be really interesting to see at the end of this race. But a hell of a lot of fuel conserving is what Footner's going to have to do.
And Trinity dropping down to ninth position, just running a little bit wide on the corner before Rahul straight.
We're all bunched up around wheel-to-wheel bend here. I think this is the spot to be looking at the moment.
So this is the end of lap 10.
Piper
As we
in.
see Piper's into the pits. So Piper's pulled into the pits, so he's definitely on a 3-stop strategy. So
Scooter
that
is as
gives
well.
Fine Moves a bit of breathing space. So he's now got a 7-second lead between second place.
Squiddy's in as well.
The Squiddy,
And as we
Scooter,
see,
Piper
as we
in.
come down the straight, looks like Mountain Goat may make a... No, I thought he might make a lunge there, but he was all over the back of wheel-to-wheel bend then.
Yeah,
Gets a really good drive out of Andretti hairpin.
Yeah, I find the Lexus gets really light in the back end, like really wants to overtake the front because you got to run your brake bias a fair way back. So, oh.
What was the brake bias you were running? I found in this track, both in the Group 3 Lexus last year and the Mustang this year, with running the rear brake bias, so I was running 2 to the rear, coming down into that Andretti hairpin, and also coming up to the corkscrew. The rear felt like it was going to overtake the front of the car.
Just looking at the front here, guys, sorry, Pure Axel's just absolutely into 3rd place. He's gone past Mountain Goat. Zuzu's all over the back of him. Poor old Goat's got his hands full.
Yeah, can we get a replay on that? I didn't actually see what happened to wheel bend for him to go from third or second to fifth? So was it just...
Here it comes.
Did he
Here
stuff
it
up?
comes. Yeah, goats up the inside, going wide. And Axel followed as well. Pure Axel
Yeah,
followed
I think
goat.
Ben just had a bad run
Yeah,
out of that
Ben
corner.
did, definitely had
And
a
then
bad
just
run.
got swamped.
Yep.
Yeah, he ran it wide coming on up to Rahal Straight and just let everybody through. Not
Yeah,
much
he
you can
needs-
do through there.
Yeah, in lobby A,
if you don't get a
I'll muck around.
good exit from that corner, you suffer all the way up the hill.
Going back to your brake bias discussion, Rexy, I was actually running between 4 to the rear and 5 to the rear, which sounds like a lot, but for the Lexus to conserve those front tyres, you really got no choice with virtually no trail braking for me.
Yeah, I was also running 5 to the rear as well. I was still feeling it towards the end of my stints.
Wow.
You got to do
Yeah,
it
no,
right.
look, I was running 2 to the rear, just because, as I said, those 2 key braking points, especially at the corkscrew here, I felt like it was really easy to turn the car if I had it past 2 to the rear.
Pure Axle's picked up a 1 second penalty by coming through the corkscrew by the look of it.
So Pure Axel, now that he's got in front of Mountain Goat, he's just started to pull away, even though he just pulled up half a second penalty coming down through the corkscrew.
He's got a
So
10th to
Pure
burn.
Axel
Yep, good on him.
on a 2-stop you'd pace at the moment. But when you compare Pure Axel's times to Fine Move's times, they're fairly consistent. So start here, and if Pure Axel wants to catch him, he's going to have to drive the absolute wheels off that McLaren.
I think another one to watch as well, sorry.
This tyre wear.
Yeah, another one to watch is keep an eye on Piper's times. So Piper's got the fresh rubber, he's just refueled, so I'd be interested to see how he goes.
As of right now, fastest lap time is from Pure Axel, no surprise there. Putting himself from 13th to second in the space of 13 and a half laps with a fastest lap time. Oh no, he just got beaten by Piper, but before he was a 27.1.
26.75.
Yeah, Piper was with a 26.7.
So Piper with the fresh rubber is on fire. The only downside to having fresh rubber is he's got to work his way past the slower guys in the field on old rubber.
The other one to think about, guys, is Footner on the medium tyre. So he's 24 seconds up on behind Fine Moves. Is that 24 seconds
going to be enough?
Going to be enough.
Yeah, look, Footner, he's done his last lap was a 1:30. He's starting to get a little bit of excess tyre wear here. As we watch him, he's almost spun it. So it seems like whenever we go to Footner,
still going.
we put the mockers on him. But if he's going to do a 1-stop, he needs to get an extra 7 laps out of those tyres there. And at the moment, they're fairly warm.
Yeah, wheel-to-wheel Ben's in. He's taking fuel. So that's an interesting lap to stop on.
What lap was that?
Fine doesn't come in.
That was
end of 13.
13, I would have thought. End of 13.
Yeah, so you can do a 13 stint and then a 14 and a 14. To get to your 41.
So interested to see if Fine Moves comes in this lap as well on Pure Axel and Do.
I think he should come in at the end of this lap.
Well, he's lost a second to Pure Axel at the moment.
Yeah.
So Pure Axel is on a charge.
Hugh could keep on going after this lap as well.
But
so Fine Moves is in.
Found his way in.
Let's
but
keep
just
an eye on
looking at the
Piper.
amount of fuel Fine Moves
staying
has
out.
got, he's almost got half a tank. So he could really, fill his car up and go.
There.
Yeah, the rest of the field
Zoo's
is
come in
clear
as
track
well.
to wheel-to-wheel Piper. So
MPR,
wheel-to-wheel
Zoo, Mountain,
Piper,
and Go.
Pure
Sorry,
Axel
Mountain is
has
fine.
come out in front. I know Pure Axel hasn't pitted. He's
Pure
gonna
Axel
stay
didn't
out for an
pit.
extra lap.
Pure Axel stayed out.
Wheel-to-wheel Piper is in second, but he's come in front of fire moves, so Wheel Piper will inherit first place once Pure Axel pits.
Yeah, Piper's jumped fine moves, so it's
Which
quite
you'd
interesting.
expect, considering he's on a 3-stop. So,
Is it possible
Wheel
for,
Piper got clear track. He's got a real opportunity to put some distance between himself and fire moves at the moment.
How's
Speaking
Pure
of fire
Axel's...
moves,
Sorry.
is it possible to get a cabin hot lap for fire moves next lap?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, let's do a lap
If
on
we see if
board
we can
with
get
fire
that lined
moves,
up
why not?
the hot lap. I think he can beat it. 26.7 isn't too hard for him to beat.
Look, he can't afford to push as hard as what Piper is, I don't think. Piper can just go as hard as he wants
Fuels in.
because he's only got to get 10 laps out of his tyres. Fire Moves has got to get 14, 15 laps out of his.
Okay, he's coming onto the start-finish straight now, so we're on board with fine moves in car.
So he's got an 8-second lead. Piper does over Fire Moves. But as we see Fire Moves come down, comes into Andretti corner or Andretti hairpin. Double apex corner here.
Short shifting going on there.
Yeah, look, he had just under half a tank. So if he does the same, he's only going to need to get fresh rubber and just get a splash of fuel, which will save him at least 10 seconds, you would think. Not forgetting that, you know, every lap of fuel you take is roughly about 3 seconds.
The other one that seems to be the big loser out of all that is Goat. He's down in 8th.
Yeah.
Thirsty Lexus. The BMWs are clearly good on fuel, and so is Zoo.
I was surprised Zoo stopped, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised as well. I thought he's had for a little bit longer in terms of his tyre wear.
Yeah, look, maybe he's just content to follow this pack around at the moment. Less tyre wear. But maybe, don't know, it is unusual considering how little tyre wear he had. So Fine Moves has done a 127.072 for his first flying lap after the pits.
So, did Footner pit?
No, he hasn't pit yet, no.
No, Footner hasn't pitted yet.
He's in 6th, so he must have
And
been a fair way
Footner
back.
needs to go to lap 20 or 21.
How's his tyres look?
His tyres are
Half?
yeah, about the same as what the softs were for everybody else.
Goat's going to want to
so
get
he
past
needs
him
to
in a
do
big
another
hurry.
3 or 4.
Oh, Goat's giving him a tap.
Oh.
It's gone off.
Yeah, that will not help Footner at all. You know, the more you run off the track, the worse those tyres are going to become.
Got a replay of that
So let's just have a look at that.
on board.
Have a look at the replay.
Yeah, just going wide.
Yeah,
So
I
no,
thought he
no
went
tap
wide.
from.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Probably done that on his
I
own.
didn't think there was a tap because I was watching it live. I don't believe there was a tap.
I don't think there was either.
Could be wrong.
Look,
Maybe
when
the
you've got that
latency.
much tyre wear on your front right, it's really easy to run wide through there. So as we see Footner coming down through the corkscrew in that replay.
How's Squiddy going? He's up to 3rd. That's a pretty good result for him too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's done pretty
Squiddy
well.
hasn't pitted yet.
He hasn't
So
pitted yet.
if you look at his tyres, he's got fantastic tyre. Well, he's got very little tyre wear, considering he's into the lap. He must be on a three-stop strategy. There's no way his tyres could look that good.
Yeah, I'm be honest, like, I find it very hard to believe that his tyres are that good.
What's
I
his
think
fuel
you'll
like?
see Squiddy come in on lap 20.
Fuel is probably on, I'd say 2/8. Probably between a quarter and empty.
He must be on a two-stop for sure.
Yeah, I reckon he has to be on a 2-stop. Or 3-stop, sorry. Wheel Piper's lead has just dropped by a second to Fine Moves.
There's all that front tyre wear on the Audi starting to kick in.
Yeah.
Especially towards the last sector where front end grip is crucial.
So Fine Moves only put a splash of fuel in his car when he pitted, which is quite a surprise. I would have thought that he would fill it up and then maybe not put much in for the last stint.
I guess Fine Move's one of those guys, he loves to run light. You know, if you look at his endurance rounds in the past, he does like to run a light car.
Yeah.
Well, the lighter the car, the
thing.
better it is on your tyres, I suppose.
That's right, exactly. That's what I mean. I thought the same thing, Rexy, as you. When I was pitting, I always put an extra lap of fuel in just in case I needed it, but it also means I'm carrying weight I won't possibly need, so it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah, well, look, when you drive a Mustang, you always need to put a lap in. An extra lap in.
I wish I could say the same, but I just can't count my laps, so I always end up putting an extra lap of fuel for no reason.
Yeah, look, for me tonight, I completely stuffed up on my last stint. I filled my car to the brim. I stood up to stretch because I had a bit of a sore back, and I only needed to put 9 laps of fuel and ended up putting 16.
In a bit of a battle group here, guys, with early Pure Axle and wheel-to-wheel Ben. So Pure Axle's just got past Ben. He's looking to mow down early now. These guys are BMW drivers as well, Early and Ben. So
yeah, I think that is probably the place to look at the moment, as I'm just watching Squiddy to see what he does. So he stays out for one more lap, so I expect to see him in the next lap. And as for Footner, let's just have a quick look.
I believe he has messed up his pit.
Footner has pitted and hasn't put any fuel in.
Yeah, I was going to say he's messed up his pit.
Has completely stuffed it and is going to have to pit. So he's turned his 1 stop into a 2 stop. That is just
a nightmare.
Terrible.
So Pure Axle just got past early as well.
So Footner will be kicking himself over that, as he's had to come in to take fuel.
Would be even better if he even puts on tyres on top of this.
Well, you may as well go to softs because he's just ruined his race.
Oh, he was already on softs as well.
No, he was on mediums, wasn't he?
Mine's saying softs.
Yeah, I could see softs as well.
Oh, okay.
Tyres as well. He's going to be absolutely kicking himself.
Now.
That's a shame.
Yeah. So unlucky Footner, but
it would be interesting to see his pit strategy.
I was looking to see how that was going to play out, but now he's just ruined his race. So
I guess we're going to find out.
So as that lead between Piper and Fine Moves is continuously dropping, it's now down to 6.5 seconds. Squiddy's in as I expected. Also Scooter 82's in.
Yep. And so is
gives Mountain Goat 3rd place, Zuzu's in 4th.
Oh no, just had a quick update in the chat that Lobby C just crashed.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh wow.
So you don't want to be 20 laps into an Enduro for the lobby to crash.
No,
so
you do not.
Unlucky boys. I hope you can get things sorted.
That's terrible.
So Fine Moves just chipping away at that lead of Wheel-to-Wheel Piper. Zuzu's made a move on Mountain Goat. So Zuzu with the better tyres up into 3rd, and I think this is where you'll start to see the Toyota 86 start to run away. Intrinsic in the Jag, he's been quiet, but he's up in the 5th at the moment. Intrinsic's going to have to come in and pit this lap though, so he's obviously on a three-stop strategy, as he indicates to go into the pit. That's very courteous of him.
I think Dragon just gave a bit of a tap to MPR coming to the corkscrew.
We able to get a replay of that?
Oh no. He's going slow. Let's see if I can. Here he comes.
So we see Intrinsic in the
Here he
pits.
comes up.
He backs off, lets MPR through.
Oh, it's very hard to tell. He must have.
Ooh,
he
actually.
must have.
Yeah, because he went
has.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Damn. It's good to see him redress. Good
Yep.
sportsmanship.
It's easy to do that there because the car does get, a little bit light as it crests, and when you're on worn tyres, you've got to be really careful.
So it looks like Fine Moves had a bit of a moment too, because, or maybe copped a penalty for shortcutting one of the corners because he's just given a second back to Piper. So
Piper's
Zuzu's
back in the
slowly
pits.
starting to pull away from Mountain Goat. Piper into the pits, lap 22, which was to be expected.
So he's definitely running a three-stopper.
Oh,
So Piper
yeah, he would be, yeah.
giving Fine Moves the lead. Zuzu is in second.
Zoo will be the one. Be interesting.
This Piraxel lap. Piraxel's are slightly closing the gap on the lead. A few laps ago he was on about 26 seconds or so behind the leader. Now he's crushed it down to just under 19. He's doing pretty well.
Yeah, look, Pure Axel, he's just super consistent. He's certainly going to be at the front of the pack come the end of this race. So Fine Moves was a almost a 16-second lead over Zuzu. So it's not quite enough at the moment. So when he pits, you would imagine that Piper's going to be right back up there again.
Well, Piper's just behind Ben, so wheel-to-wheel Ben. So he's come out in sixth. He's just getting past
so
Ben
they're
now.
He's in the wall.
Who's in the wall?
Buda has just parked it up turn 2. Right, he
Who
left the
has?
room. Buda.
Oh, Scooter 82.
Possible DC, I'm not too sure.
He must have dropped out maybe.
Or something must have called for him.
Because he was in quite a good position.
Yeah, he was too.
Maybe he went out in sympathy with Lobby C.
They're just going through the field, so they're all fairly evenly spaced at the moment. Just trying to find a little bit of a battle going on. It
who's
looks like
that
there's one
coming through
between
the second
Early
last
and
corner?
NPR for
Yeah.
9th and 10th. Putner driving a lonely old race, he must be frustrated as hell after forgetting to put fuel in his car. ZD's not going to let him forget that one, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. Them two, they have a bit of a history on and off track.
They do, they love a bit of banter. So I can safely say that there'll be a few comments in Discord this evening between the two.
Well, to be fair, Footner does have the how'd your race go for ZD since his lobby got DC'd.
MPR just running wide there, taking out a few of the braking markers. Some of the boys might get a bit of a surprise.
So I don't know
on
if
that.
any of the boys in the we got ZD, so it looks like that lobby hasn't reopened for C, so ZD might be able to tell us what's going on. ZD, what happened to the lobby? So just let us know. And if you don't already know, ZD, this one's for you. Footner forgot to put fuel in his car when he pitted. Tell us your thoughts on that.
I reckon he must have hit the button by mistake.
Yeah, I reckon he double tapped the X button a bit too
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
I've been there.
Had to have.
It
Same
sucks.
here. I've done exactly the
Well,
same.
we saw, who was it that did it in race 1 at Seaside?
I
No, it would
may
have
have
been the
double tapped
second
the X
race.
button on the quick race, but not for the not for the pits.
I think Tankmaster forgot to fill up in one of the races earlier in the season.
I think it was, yeah. I think it was Tankmaster who missed his fuel.
Scooter 82 put the 310 in the bag. 3 out of 10.
I don't know what he means by that.
mistake.
I think he means by 3 out of 10 in terms of looks on a girl.
I think 3 out of 10 and look on his driving performance possibly.
So we see Pure Axel, he's just caught up to the back of Mountain Goat here, so let's see how long the Goat can fend off Pure Axel.
Well, Goat only has to fend off for another 3 or so more laps because end of 28 he's planning to come in to do the next pit stop.
Yeah, now would you want to stay out a little bit longer and have a shorter stint home, or
Depends how much time
just
you're going to
stick
lose.
to that 14, 13 sort of lap?
It depends on how much tyre wear you've got left
That's right.
at that 28 lap point.
You need to work out what your tyre, what your lap times are. If you feel like you're losing too much lap time, you need to change your tyres. But if your lap times are still there, then why change?
Like one could look at his tyre now and think, okay, well, I can definitely make this last a little bit longer than 28 laps, but who knows when it comes to the 28th lap and his tyres looking due for a change, he might have to stick to that plan.
So
Correct.
Zuzu, just at the moment, is on a bit of a charge. His last 5 laps have all been 127s.
So Pure
So
Axel
he's
just got past
taken
Mountain
2
Goat.
seconds off the lead from Fine Moves. So Zuzu is absolutely flying at the moment. In saying that, Pure Axel's last 6 laps have all been 127.
They've all been 27th, yeah.
Yeah.
Have they really?
It's a shame he
Wow,
couldn't be
Yeah.
qualifying.
Yeah, so he's consistently lapping around that 127.5 sort of mark.
I think Fine Moves might be due for a pit. His fuel's looking pretty low.
Yeah, you'll see
Maybe
Fine
end of-
Moves come into
end
the
of
pits
28.
this lap, for sure. He can't stay out there any longer than what he is.
Oh yeah, fair point. The only battles we got going on. Who's that? Oh, we got Goat and Pure Axel. Axel's already passed him.
Yeah, Pure Axel's already got past Goat.
Hey.
Goat's tyres
Intrinsic
would have had
and
it.
early probably? 8th and 9th? I mean, maybe something can go on there, maybe with early getting a pass on Intrinsic. I'm actually quite surprised with how good the BMWs around this track. I did not expect it to be this good.
Yeah, look, I'm not surprised that they're good around here. The BMW, it handles fairly well. It's fairly good on its fuel as well. So yeah, it's no surprise that the Beam is doing really well around here.
Fine Moves didn't stop. He's going for another.
Wow.
Yeah, I expected him to go to the end of 28 for his next pit.
Well, that
probably
just
short
goes to
shifting
show
like crazy.
how good the BMW is on field. Like once the Mustang starts flashing, you needed to pit.
You'll run out.
Yeah.
And also, he's going to come to the pits.
Oh, so wheel-to-wheel bends in.
He follows. But he's not. He with Intrinsic.
Yeah, look, I'd
Early did
expect to
close the
see
gap.
Mountain Goat in this lap as well.
A bit of a battle heating up between early and
Zuzu's going to
Intrinsic.
be in this lap. Pure Axel will probably stay out for another lap.
And PR's coming in.
I mean, when you're lapping at 127s on tyres like that, you know, you may
I'd
as well
keep going.
stay out until you're empty. That's
The rest of us
incredible.
might as well just give up.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not in lobby A.
I just saw the pit crew to call it a day. I don't need you anymore.
So this would be good. Fine moves. He's in now. Here he comes. So
Yeah.
just see what Zoo does now.
Yeah, Zoo will be in as well. He's
Yeah, he needs a fuel. He's got nothing left in the tank.
Looking really empty.
He just lost that last bar of fuel.
Yeah, Zoo's in.
Yeah, so Zoo's in. Pure Axle's in.
Zero
Oh no,
fuel.
Pure Axle stays out.
Pure Axle
Mountain
stayed out.
Goat's in.
Goat's in.
Wheel to Wheel Piper is now moves up into second.
But he's still got one more stop to make. You'd say Pure Axle's going to make another stop, isn't he, boys?
Pure Axle's got one more stop to do.
Yeah.
Jeez,
What
he
is
want to
hard
go
looking
like
like?
crazy.
I think end of 33, Pure Axle might be coming in.
So he has a 7-second lead over Wheel to Wheel Piper at the moment. Squiddy is back into third. Oh no, he's in fourth, sorry. So 5 moves has come out.
How much fuel's Fine Move's got in there, can you tell?
So 5 moves has got just over half a tank, so he's obviously put in enough to get him home now. So is Wheel to Wheel Piper. Looks like he's only going to need to take rubber on his next.
Really?
Yeah, he's got same amount of fuel as what Fine Moves has.
Fine moves, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Piper only puts on tyres for the next stop.
No, yeah, 100%. I think Piper's not going to need to put fuel. As we see Pure Axle
Fuel's
coming
coming
into the pits.
I thought his tyres would go for a little bit longer. Maybe he's going to try and
there's
keep
no
that lead
point.
going.
I mean, if he can do 127s on tyres like that, then
Imagine what he can do on
he could
clean
probably do a
tyres.
few. I mean, he's just done 8 laps at 127. Every lap was a 127. God, that's annoying, Pure Axle.
So interested to see once this final stop happens for Pure Axle, the gap to Fine Moves, the gap to Piper. We know Piper's got a pit again. It's really the gap to Fine Moves.
I think when Piper pit, there was probably a 7-second lead
7
over
seconds,
Fine
yeah,
Moves.
7.2, 7.1.
So it's now 5 seconds. So if Piper doesn't need to put fuel, Fine Moves is still going to be out in front. But will Piper be able to chase him down? That will be the big question. And at the laps these boys are going, I don't think he can.
It's going to be pretty tough.
I think it might be quick enough to get a third or a fourth.
So
Pure Axle.
Yeah, getting a bit loose. So Pure Axle, what's he got? 23 seconds to Piper,
Yeah, 23.1
which means to Fine Moves
would be an 18, 18, 19.
So what Zoo needs to do, he just needs to sit behind Pure Axle for as long as he can. And hope
So that'll be hard.
Pure
It's gonna be
Axle
hard.
can drag him
It'll be
around.
hard in
It'll be very
86.
hard. But Zoo, he's been comfortably doing 127, so it's quite possible for him to do.
Do some math for us, boys. Check the time for Pure Axle compared to Fine Moves. What's the gap? Is it coming down a second a lap? Because it needs to be more than a second a lap.
So let's have a look.
Let's look at lap 27. 28.5 for Fine, and you are got a 27.9.
So
I'm not
let's
a math
say
boy. That's
Fine
about
Moves is
0.6.
averaging a 128. So yeah, it's roughly about
I think that
3/4
gap's
of
too
a
big.
second per lap,
I think that
quicker than
gap's
what
too
Fine
big.
Moves is. And the gap is... So as the stream dropped out, we saw Squiddy going into the pits, which handed third place to Pure Axle. Pure Axle is now 17 seconds behind Fine Moves and chasing hard.
He's now got
with
that free
Isuzu
space.
doing his best to stay on the back of Pure Axle. Mountain Goat now with a lonely drive in 5th, being 5 seconds behind Zuzu, but 12 seconds in front of Wheel to Wheel Ben. So yeah, the interesting thing is, as we see Wheel to Wheel Piper coming to the pits for the last time, so I'm expecting Piper just to be putting on some fresh boots and coming straight back out.
Maybe a drop of fuel, possibly to push it a little bit harder.
So By Moves has crossed the line in the first now. Pure Axel and Zoo are coming on to the start-finish straight.
No fuel for Piper.
Wheel to Wheel Piper, Pure Axel and Zuzu. They'll be your top 4. As Pure Axel will probably be 3-4 seconds behind Pure Axel.
Yeah, 3.4 behind Piper, Pure Axel.
So Piper in second, fresh rubber, 14 seconds behind Fire Moves. It's a big ask. Also with Pure Axel chasing him down, just to run away with it. So Zoo just still hanging on to the back of Pure Axel there. So it's been a great drive from Zuzu tonight in the 286.
Yeah, it's been an excellent drive.
So just go back through the rest of the field. There's looks like a lot of lonely racing going on until we get to 8th and 9th and 10th, as we have early Intrinsic and MPR tacking onto the back to get a 3-way battle pack happening maybe.
Early in Intrinsic have been going for quite a number of laps now. They've been going on towards the end of the first stint for the rest of the drivers. It's good to see that them two have been keeping it close for the entirety of this race so far.
Yeah, they're enjoying just a nice little battle at the moment. So Intrinsic doing everything he can to stay on the back of early in that BMW. Don't forget MPR got caught up in an incident early on, so he's done well to get himself up in the 10th. So just keeping an eye on the time. So now the gap between Fire Moves and Wheel to Wheel Piper is down to 12 seconds.
12 seconds.
So with 7 laps to go.
I
You
still
would
think
think
it's
the
going
maths
to
would
happen.
suggest that Fire Moves may have done enough, but all it takes is for him to have an off or to get 1 or 2 shortcut penalties, which is quite easy on this track, especially come down through the corkscrew.
Yeah. He's just
And
taking
the gap
absolute
between
chunks out of that time.
Pure
Piper.
Axel and Piper is still around that 3.5-4 seconds. So Piper is just keeping Pure Axel at distance at the moment.
I think towards the end of the 30s, probably around 38, 39, Piper's tyres going to start being pretty weak. So that's probably when Pure Axel can probably make an opportunity to pounce and take second place from him.
Yeah, well, that last lap, Piper just put in a 126.756, and Pure Axel did a 126.915.
Wow,
so they are both got their ears pinned back at the moment. But Zoo also doing 127s. So since Zoo came out of the pits, it's been 127, 127, 127. So Zoo's having an outstanding drive, just hanging on to the back of Pure Axel at the moment.
It's a shame that Pure Axel couldn't be able to stick through the quali. He's probably surprised himself, considering he stuck out for the majority of the race so far. As we did mention before, his girlfriend is pregnant and he's due to give birth to a baby at any moment.
So starting at the back of the grid, he's done extremely well to be up into 3rd. If he was on pole tonight, he probably would have run away with it. Not taking anything away from Fire Moves, he's had a fantastic drive tonight. But as the times come down, so 10 seconds now between Piper and Fire Moves. But the gap between Piper and Pure Axel has blown out to 5, so Piper's just done the quickest lap of the race.
Yeah, and I believe he just betted again.
So
in that last
Piper's on a
sector.
charge. He can see 5 moves in the distance there.
He did close 2 seconds off in the last lap.
So, out of the top 3, 5 moves has the most amount of tyre wear. Oh no, hang on, that was, it looks like Wheel to Wheel Super Dragon.
Yeah, I think it's Super Dragon in front of him.
He's in the distance.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't 5 moves.
So the gap's just got under 10 seconds now between Piper and 5 moves. It's only a matter of time before you get to see what happens between them two. Again, in anyone's race, 5 moves can make a mistake. Very easy to happen around this track. Or even a direct 6-letter penalty can change things up rather quickly around here.
Yeah, look, I think a penalty would be more likely than a mistake at this stage from 5 moves. He's been fairly consistent tonight. But we all know how easy it is to pick up a time penalty through that corkscrew. All it takes is to just, be a little bit late on the brakes for you to shortcut that corkscrew.
How do you think Footner's going to feel if Fine Moves laps him?
Well, that could happen because 5 moves has almost put it into the fence there.
Yeah.
So it seems like every time we talk about Footner, he runs off the track. So maybe if we don't,
shall we keep talking about him?
maybe if we don't cut to him or don't mention his name, he might win a race. But Footner, very quick, but has had an absolutely shocking race tonight. Was going for a 1-stop, but forgot to fill his car up when he pitted. So a bit of a rookie mistake there by Footner.
And he's getting the blue flag, so showing the blue flag, which means we're about to be overtaken effectively.
What's the gap now? Got 9-second gap between Piper and
so
5 moves.
just under 9 seconds, 8.9, 8.8.
Rather another second chopped off in that lap.
Yeah, so a 127,
Dragon.
185 for Piper that lap.
Super Dragon's not getting out of Piper's way at all. Lucky he's ghosted.
Oh, because he's ghosted. I think the option or ghost slapped cars he's on.
The gap's also increased from Piper to Pure Axle, so that gap is almost out to 6 seconds on Pure Axle now. So it really looks like it's going to be a battle for 1 and 2 between 5 moves and Piper, if Piper can close that gap. And don't forget Zoo.
Yeah, can't forget Zoo. Yeah, he's still in the picture for a possible podium.
Yeah, I mean, it would be very hard for him, just looking at Pure Axle's tyre wear. Pure Axle's got better tyres at the moment. But anything's possible. He can collect a penalty coming down through the corkscrew, which he almost did then.
Yeah, the corkscrew does require pinpoint accuracy, doesn't it? You don't want to find yourself just a little bit off because you're picking up a penalty on the other side.
Well, the corkscrew is such a crucial part of the track. You want to go through there as fast as possible. You're trying to straight line that corner as fast as possible. And if you just get off line a fraction, it's very easy to pick up a penalty. So with 3 laps to go, it looks like Fine Moves has got this race in the bag, unless
I'm going to
he has some form
curse
of
occurs.
incident. I can't see him losing this one. So Zoo's just dropped off the back of Pure Axle there by about a second.
I know the
Pure
BMW.
Axle, the lead. Pure Axle's gap between Piper has opened up to 6.2, 6.3 seconds now.
I know the BMW boys put in a fair bit of practice. They had a room up for themselves the other day, just working out their strategies and stuff, which is always good.
Yeah. I think this was probably one of the most important endurance races we've had so far. I mean, to be fair, we've only had this one, and then the one around Bathurst. But I feel like this one was a pure endurance race. Was a proper race strategy was had to be used for this one.
Yeah, definitely the double points. I mean, it really makes you think. So you want to do well.
Well, it was one of those distances too where tyre and fuel comes into play around this track. I know for the Mustang, I could only get say 14 laps. It was telling me 14 laps out of a tank, but if I didn't short shift, it would have really been about 12, 11.
Yeah, that's
So
the
every one
other
of
thing
these
too.
cars has probably done some form of fuel saving, and then just trying to conserve your tyres.
Well, that comes into your refueling, doesn't it? Because if you've been conserving, when you fill it up and it says it's got 8 laps or whatever it is to go, it's calculating that based on your current burn rate.
Yeah, it is too.
So you got to be careful you don't overuse it when you come out of the pits, unless you've overfilled, which is what I tend to do.
Yeah, I mean, if you can save your fuel throughout the entire race, then that last time you go into the pits, it's really just a splash, as we saw Piper do. He went in his last stint and really just had to put rubber on, and that was it.
Well, we saw how important fuel saving was between me and you, Rexy, in our race that we had before this, in terms of, I don't know if you realise, but I managed to catch you in the pits just really based on fuel saving in the first pit.
Yeah, look, I filled my car up to the brim, the first pit, and then that second pit, like I said, I stuffed up. I only needed to put in, 7 laps of fuel, and ended up putting 16 laps.
Probably the Squiddy and Wheel to Wheel Ben, they're nice and tight, 2 BMW boys.
Yeah.
As they start the final lap.
Well, the gap for the lead goes down to 5.5 seconds.
Ben's all over the place.
Yeah, so 5 seconds. So 5 moves. It's had a fantastic race, brilliant strategy. He's driven the wheels off that BMW, and he looks like he's going to take the win as we see him come down the corkscrew the final time as he overtakes Footner. So Footner gets lapped. He's not going to like that.
Indeed he will.
One less lap he has to do now, and he picked up a 2-second penalty. So again, whenever we look at Footner, it always seems he's in trouble. So well done to 5 moves. He's had a fantastic drive, and that's a win. And I believe it's his first win for the season. So
yeah,
congratulations 5 moves. Great race. Wheel to Wheel Piper takes out seconds. Pure Axle is going to take out third. Fantastic drive for Zuzu in the Toyota 86. I don't know, but I think it's his best finish for the season. Mountain Goat in the Liquid Moly Lexus is in 5th. Squiddy will take out 6th in the M4 BMW. Wheel to Wheel Ben will finish in 7th.
A lot of lonely races out there.
Yeah.
Then we will have Intrinsic in 8th.
I wonder what happened with Early. Because Early and Intrinsic were neck and neck a couple laps ago.
They were.
NPR's got in between them. And with a bit of a gap as well.
Must have had a spin or something. So Intrinsic in 8th. MPR in 9th. And Early in 10th. With Footner and Super Dragon 11th and 12th. So that's it for tonight. Fantastic drive there by 5 moves. He led from start to finish basically. Wheel to Wheel Piper had a fantastic drive to take out second, and Pure Axle starting from the back to take out third is a phenomenal drive. So well done, boys. Excellent driving tonight. And look, if you're interested in participating in Wheel to Wheel racing next season, head to our Facebook page and look for the Wheel to Wheel race. forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed tonight's racing, and subscribe as well.
Got another
So-
GR4 race next week.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do.
yeah. At the double track. I forget which one it is, but it's the Japan one.
Yep, in reverse, I think. Isn't
In
it?
reverse.
Oh, Kyoto.
Yeah, Kyoto, Miami, whatever it's called.
Yep.
So it should be an interesting race. I'm not looking forward to taking the Mustang around there because I believe it's going to be hard on tyres.
I look forward
Yeah,
to you
the
taking us
next
for
is-
another flying lap, Rexy, next week.
I think I would be too based off this round. Based
Well,
off
I'll
this
see
round's
what I
one.
can do, lads. I'll try to keep it on the track, but I can't promise anything. But I can guarantee that it's going to be spectacular.
It'd be a good race for the next one around around Yamagawa. There's not many
Yeah,
of us
looking
race
forward
around
to
there.
it. I enjoy the track the normal way around, so we'll see if I enjoyed as much in reverse.
Yeah,
Anyway,
definitely.
that's it from me and you boys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for tonight, Pagani and Vintage.
Yep, thank you,
No worries.
Rexy.
Glad
And
being
look
here.
forward to seeing you next week for round 9.
Sounds good.
Have a
See you
good
guys.
evening.